Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Dylan, and I'm back again with another comic book review. Now today, I want to talk about Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, issue 14. Now this is being written by Tom Taylor, and arts by McGurty Savage, or Suavage, and Ken Lashley also, or the first one I said, because I know I butchered that, so I ain't even gonna attempt repeating that. He or she does the flashbacks, and Ken Lashley just does the regular art, and the and Rachel Rosenberg, and that same artist who I said does the flashbacks, does the colors. So basically, man, I found out that this is the last issue we're getting of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man by Tom Taylor, at least for the time being. You know, he put some stuff in the back where he talks about how, how great of an opportunity it was to be able to write Peter Parker. And, maybe one day we'll get another, Spider-Man run by him, because I'd love it. I mean, I don't think anyone has done, like, this book is just so heartfelt. It has so much of a heart in this book, in this series. Like, the way he grounded all these stories, Tom Taylor did a fantastic job. Like, the Spider Bite issue, probably one of my favorite issues, one of my few favorite issues of the year. Like, as a single issue, fantastic. But let's get into this one. We start off with a flashback of it must be right after Peter's parents have passed away, and he is living with Ben and May, and he must have ran away. So Ben kind of got scared, and he yelled at Peter, and Peter took it really hard and goes to his room and is just super sad. And we see that he's like, Peter's like, this isn't my home, and Aunt May is like, this is your home, it is now. And he's like, I'm so sorry, I know you miss them, I miss them too, I know you're scared, but no matter what you're feeling, you are not alone. I'll be here when you go to sleep, and I promise I'll be here when you wake up. Now those are key words, key words. And he falls asleep, and and once he wakes up, he's like, May, and she stayed with him all night. Good morning, Peter. So those keywords I said, though, we cut to now at McCarthy Medical Center, because if you've been reading this, you know that Aunt May has cancer. That was one of the biggest things in this run. Aunt May has been, uh, hitting with she's got cancer now, and it was looking rough at some times, but it looks like she's gonna go into surgery, and they're gonna put her under. And she starts saying, like, Peter, if anything happens, and he's like, nothing's gonna happen, May, you'll be fine. Like, count back from 10, Mrs. Parker, and then she passes out from the whatever they're giving her, and he's like, I'll be here when you go to sleep, and I promise I'll be here when you wake up. So with those same words that uh, she used to comfort him in his time of need, he's there for her, and he uses the same thing that she said to him, which I thought that was absolutely, sweet. I liked it. But we cut to this kid. Well, you don't know who it is at first, and it looks like this kid is a super smart kid, talking to the public, kind of like, are you angry? Good, I know how you feel. Let down by the whole system, forgotten, unimportant, ineffectual. You feel powerless. You won't feel powerless tomorrow. Tonight we take the power from this whole city. Tonight we say goodnight to the city that never sleeps. And then we go to Peter talking to the doctor, and he's like, the surgery could take a few hours. You might want to you could wait till the morning, and, come back, and I'll give you a call when she wakes up. Before he could even finish, he's like, thanks, doctor, but I'm staying here. And he's like, well, I can't. All I can offer you is an uncomfortable chair and some coffee that's terrible, but it's free. And then you hear, kind of a shake, and it looks like the power has gone out. And he's like, I'm guessing, hospitals aren't supposed to make that sound. He's like, looks like a blackout. Generators kicked in, so it's nothing to worry about. And Spider-Man's thinking in his head, like, sure, nothing to worry about. Okay, yeah, I heard that one before. And he's like, just a city in darkness, people trapped in gridlock, potential looting, opportunistic villains. He's like, damn it. I'll be back for you I'll be back before you wake up, May. I promised. And then we see, you know, Shocker. He's trying to rob an armored truck. And he's like, you know, don't make me come in there, don't, and make sure you open the doors. I'll give you till the count of 3. And Peter pulls up and he's like, you picked the wrong day. You picked the wrong day, dude. And before he can even, you know, thwip real quick, you see somebody else, and it's Miles. And he's like, Miles, what are you doing in Manhattan? He's like, what am I doing? You're not supposed to be here. He's like, follow me. There's not too much of a glare on that. Oh, there we go. So, you know, we see Rumor, and she's like, hello, and then, he's like, Rumor, like, what the hell's going on? He's like, we know you need to be somewhere tonight. And Miles is like, don't worry about the city. And then Johnny pulls up, and he's like, be where you need to be, man. And he's like, Johnny, what is this? And he's like, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? I absolutely just love this. Dang, it looks like the dang paper clip just pulled out on that. I mean, that's crazy. Damn, that's like the second time that's happened to me, too. That staple popped out on my last issue, too. But, Johnny's like, we're looking after your neighborhood tonight. So, man, I thought that was dope as hell, like, how they come together, and they're there for the homie, man. They're there to make sure that he can be there for his loved one. Because, I mean, the dude saves the city all the time, so I love that, man. And even Iron Man chips in to help. The Thing. We got, since Johnny's there, we got Reed Richards, and we got Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan. We got Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and it's funny because Kamala Khan's like, how did we pull traffic duty? Because her and Reed Richards are actually, everyone's doing their part. And because it looks like the neighborhood's in total chaos with that. Dang, no, man, I can't. It looks like I could probably. No, you know what? It looks like the page ripped off the staple. That crazy. Back at the McCarthy Medical Center, you know, he pulls up on a kid right when he's like wall climbing, and the kid's like, you know, Spider-Man, I think I know what's happening. And he's like, the blackout? He's like, yeah, everyone at school knew he was planning it. We just figured it was talk, you know. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, Derek Johnson. He said he'd shut down the whole city. You know, guys say stuff all the time, but he's like crazy smart. And he's like, well, can I borrow your phone? And he calls that Detective Sebbins, and you know, he's like, I need an address. And she's like, well, I don't know if I feel comfortable giving you, tracking down a high school student for you. And he's like, Sherry, like, this address, I need this address, and the city needs me to have it. And she's like, okay. So she, you know, because she kind of has a little tries to joke with him at first, but Spider-Man is like literally not in the mood. He doesn't have the time to joke tonight. He's like, I don't really have the time to act like, what did he say? He's like, I don't have the time to pretend to be endearingly incompetent tonight. And I love this. Tom Taylor does a little DC thing where he's like, the outer boroughs, you know, single story houses are basically my kryptonite. They reduced me to a guy in a costume just running down the street, and that straight up brought me back to like Spiderman Homecoming, when he's running down in the neighborhood and he can't thwip or nothing because there's nothing for him to swing on. So he pulls up and he finds the house, and he finds a laptop running off a cell phone hotspot, several backup batteries. He's joined others all over, but he's the host. And the kid pulls in and he's like, Spider-Man, and it's the kid I said. It was the kid from before with the mask. And Spider-Man doesn't even have like a reaction or anything, no spider senses. So because the kid's like, oh shit. And the kid, Spider-Man, he's like, no spidey sense, the kid's not a threat to me. So he's like, Derek Johnson, he's like, yeah. He's like, I'm having a stressful day, and what you've done here isn't even the hardest part. And he's like, I haven't done it. He's like, you convinced a whole lot of people around the world to help you launch a DDoS attack on Manhattan energy system. You crippled the grid. And he's like, how do you know that? He's like, I was bitten by a radioactive spider with coding abilities. He's like, what? He's like, never mind. But he's like, can I ask you a favor, dude? He's like, don't do this tonight. Tomorrow I'll stand up for this city and I'll undo all your dastardly plans, but there's someone who needs me tonight. And what comes next, man, is absolutely crazy, man. It was awesome. So I mean, this is a young kid, and he's like, stand down in his headset, and he's like, what? He's like, everyone stand down, turn the power back on. He's like, seriously, just like that? He's like, dude, we all owe you. I know that. You saved the world. You stopped it from being blown up, poisoned, sucked into another dimension, stomped, eaten. He's like, and I'm sorry I made your life harder. Like, damn, bro, like, man, like I said, man, he does these really beautiful, heartfelt stories, man. I really have enjoyed Tom Taylor's writing. Really have. Like I say, if there's anyone that should get Detective Comics after Tomasi, because I really have been loving his, it's Tom Taylor. And I hope he does another Spider-Man book. I hope he continues on it in some time. I hope there's a lot of people that enjoyed this so that he will come back. So we'll see, though. And he's like, you living by yourself, Derek? And he's like, yeah, I'm not sure you're old enough to do that. I have guardians according to a laughably easy-to-hack family welfare site. One is a lawyer, the other's an astronaut. He's like, ambitious. And he's like, the city failed you. I guess, yeah. You're angry and you're scared, I get that. It's easy to be angry these days, to lash out forgetting that they're real people on the other end of the words of your actions. He's like, but, it's a little hypocritical. I literally got together with some friends and took down the city about a month ago. But he's like, whoever you're angry with, you're not just hurting them tonight, you're hurting a whole lot of people who didn't deserve to be punished. And like I said, he's like, what are you, 16? He's like, nah, 15. He's like, no one benefits from you being locked away. There are going to be consequences for what you did, but I'll be in your corner. What you did took a lot of intelligence. I'm going to talk to a couple people about you. He's like, these people will point you in a better direction than the one you're headed in. So it's like, damn, bro, like, that's just Spider-Man for you. He's gonna do what he can to point you in the right direction or try to help you any way he can so that you don't go down a bad path. He notices that this is a young kid. He has his whole future ahead of him, and he's living by himself, doesn't have parents. You don't know what this kid's been through, man. I just love that, man, because Spider-Man doesn't give up, man. Like, he always tries to look out and see the best in people. I like that, man. I really do. He's like, but I gotta go. I made a promise. I need to use the proportional powers of a spider to jog back to the city. And he's talking to himself. He's like, and I hope I'm not too late. And we get the sunset rising, and Peter's made it back. And May just wakes up, it says Peter, and he's like, good morning, May. Just like she did for him. So he was there in her time of need, and that was just fantastic. And that's where we end. So let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. I love this story. It was so good. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like button on your way out, hitting that subscribe, hitting that bell notification so you get all updates on upcoming videos, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.